Anybody else? How are we on time? Talk forever. Steve? We're good. I'm going to keep talking. So let me take you to a section. Take you to the achievement section.
The monster encounters, are they specific for each of the races, or are they general?
It's a good question. Some are and some aren't. So what we had to do was, it is difficult to make a tome specific for every single race in the game. Some of them, when they're appropriate, they work for both realms. Some of them aren't appropriate for both realms, so we had to just sort of go with that and go, what would you be doing if you were destruction? What would you be doing if you were order? And I think we've found kind of a good balance of that. I think what I'm doing right here is I'm actually going through and violently cheating in through this PQ. What I want to show you is that one of the uses of the Tome of Knowledge is to kind of show you what you can get, for example. So as you play through PQs, you get influence rewards. And I've just gotten enough amount of XP that I can, and an influence, I can see what rewards I can go back to. And then I can run back to the guy in the town and turn in my my influence and get rewards from that. And you can sort of see and track all of that inside the Tome of Knowledge. So that also kind of saves you a little bit of time. You don't have to keep running back to the NPC, like, oh, what can I get, what can I get? I mean, there was a list of all of the Tome unlocks that I haven't read yet, and I think I'm just about to show you the one that Josh spoiled for me, which is the clicking on yourself 100 times. Just so you know, I prepared this guy, and I had already clicked on myself about 85 times. You won't have to sit here and watch me click on myself 100 times. And literally, I'm just clicking on myself. And I'm the kind of person that would actually sit there and look at them all on the internet and then do it. And there you go. And I got a title called Ow My Eye. So, again, see, here's a list of titles. There's a lot of titles in the game. I mean, there's so many titles in the game, I don't know what to do with them. And we, on beta, I have been going around, and because I know where all the Tome unlocks are, I'm a terrible cheater. I keep getting them and putting titles up, and people write me, go, where did you get that? I'm like, oh, I don't know, this game is pretty fun, what do you think? That whole thing. But, so yeah, you have a title, and you can display it, and people can ask you where you got it. You can put a funny one up, you can put a silly one up, you can put one that you're really proud of up. I got one for dying 100 times in RVR, and I put it over my head for something like, the week or something. I just thought it was hilarious. Any other questions?
We got 5 minutes here.
Okay. I'm going to show some of the other achievements if I can get to it. Say. Let's go to the end here. So one of the things in particular, like I said, we're proud about is the achievements. And the achievement section is that sort of metagame. It's that layer above the game where like the sending the tells, the clicking on yourself, the doing a bunch of different things outside of the story. So, I think there are different types of people that play MMOs, and there are people that like to be entirely immersed in the story, and there are people who maybe they don't care. And there are people who like to check off every checkbox, and there are people who want to show people what they're doing, and there are people who only play RVR. The thing about achievements is it kind of branches across a lot of the different aspects of the tome. So, like I said, it does things like it keeps track of how many times you've died, how many times you've sent to hell, how much money you've collected over the course of your career, and on and on and on and on. And this is just a section, a part of it. This is the completed 50 Tome unlocks, Tome unlock. We're just trying to get as many angles as we can. And maybe I'll have a Tome unlock that says got all of the completed number of Tome unlocks. If your brain can even process that, I'm not sure. And like I said, they're related to all types of subjects, crafting, guilds, all that stuff. So I'm hoping that as you're playing the game, you're really kind of interacting with the game and doing all the things you normally want to do. And then this is just a little extra kind of spice on top of that, which is, here is a whole other part of the game that I didn't even know was there, and it's giving you more to do, more to explore. That's pretty much it. So is there one final question, or you good?
Especially the connection between quests and the total knowledge. I've heard that, for example, you can kill monsters before you even have a quest, and then turn it in and then get the reward for that.
Oh yeah, that's actually specifically leveraged in Kill Collectors, which is the type of quest we have. So there'll be this guy, he's sitting around in the cities, and he really hates bats for some reason. Maybe a bat ate his mother or something. And so there was a guy there that's he's muttering about bats. And if you've killed a bunch of bats and you've gotten him at that point, he's already, oh, you killed it? Oh yeah, and in your tome there was 25 bat kills. You killed it. Here's some experience and all that stuff. And we also have tome unlocks that leverage how many kill collectors you've done. So, like I said, how many quests have you done? How many public quests have you done? How much anything you can think of in the game? We're trying to encompass it all in the tome. So we're giving that whole kind of layer, that glue that keeps it all together.
Well, that's true. Only to the kill quests can't say begin the quest without even having it.
Oh yeah, no. For some of the quests, you have to go straight to the NPC and get the quest, and usually it's because he's going to give you an item. He wants to tell you some of that story behind it. So it is specific to the Kill Collector quest.